I own 12 rental units and I still pay a fortune in taxes. If I just put them in an LLC, that fixes it. This is a very close, cousin of, I watched the webinar. Why am I still paying taxes? Well, watching a webinar doesn't mean anything. Really, it just, watching a webinar is just there to kind of spark an interest, to make us aware of what's like, there's some other options, right? An LLC, what it does, it unlocks deductions that you couldn't take before, right? So if you move the rentals into an LLC, your tax bill doesn't just drop. A lot of people think, well, I have an LLC, everything's going to drop, right? So the whole idea with the LLCs is that an LLC holding rentals could be exactly the same as if you would own it personally. Remember what we mentioned the earlier a little bit? And I said an LLC is truly a legal way to be set up in one state versus the way you get taxed is a nexus problem. And in this case is a, structure problem. This really has to do with the structure. Why am I holding, all these units in an LLC? Is it because I manage them? Is it because I have somebody else managing them? So there's so many different scenarios of how this could go. So an LLC could be helpful. The LLC means nothing to us from a tax perspective. The LLC just means now I get to choose how do I want to get taxed. And this is probably the hardest element a lot of people choose, have to choose. And when you think about, well, why do I have to choose? My CPA said I can, I'm a partnership. Well, you're not stuck. With an LLC, you get to choose. You can be a partnership. If you don't have another partner, just put your trust at 1%, whatever. Find something, be creative, right? You can do an S-Corp or you can do a C-Corp. You can do any one of these, right? So what happens with the LLCs many times, people don't think about their options, right? And on top of that, you can own the LLC in any type of retirement account at the same time. So there's a lot of misunderstanding of what the LLCs are doing. The LLCs are just giving you more flexibility to choose how you want to be taxed. Now, again, that's a separate conversation that we could go on and on and on. But what moves the needle with the rental income or rental properties will be depreciation, right? Cost segregation study, short-term rentals, which is a big one coming up right now. A lot of people have done that completely wrong, and it's catching up with them because the IRS got the idea. The IRS is watching the same TikToks that you're watching. They have people going and seeing what's happening. So we'll stop on that. You have the real estate professional qualification, right? The financing, and the one of my favorite is the entity choice, right? The entity choice of operating the activity. I'm doing rental, I'm servicing my rental units. Now, if I service my rental units, who am I? Am I the holder of the real estate or I am the manager? Or am I both? Right? So very, very interesting questions here to make.